Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you for being here today. Just at the start of the meeting, I went to your website and I noticed that there was an info block, and I was just talking to some other folks, and they ran into the same thing as well too. And I actually just got a quick screenshot of it here. It says the office is receiving an unprecedented number of disclosures of wrongdoing, reprisal complaints, and general inquiries. As a result of increased submissions, delays in the analysis and investigations of files are expected. In the numbers that you presented to this committee, it's actually kind of shocking, and I would say alarming, at how sharp of a climb there is in cases. Do you have any reason for why that is?
Everyone's asking me that, and I have no way of knowing. I can tell you that it's not my... I have no reason to believe that it's because there's more wrongdoing. There's no data that would suggest that. I can't disprove that either, but there's no data that would suggest that. My sense is that it's in my career, I've seen the startup of many new organizations, and particularly those that render a service to the public. It takes a while for those people who might access that service to even realize that it's there, and then once they do, to have enough trust in it to bring it forward. My best guess, because I have no way of verifying it, is that I do believe that the office was established in 2007, and I think that at a certain point in time, there was a critical mass period where people knew enough about it to start using it, and then that gave rise to more and more and more. That is my belief, but I have no evidence or proof to say that. But if you're asking me what I think, that's what I think.
Do you think, are you concerned about there maybe being a culture that's been instilled that's enabled some of this? And part of it too is because it takes so long to get an answer, or because there's so many cases, do you think that people maybe just feel like, well, they're not gonna get to it anyway, so I can just do whatever I want, and what's anyone gonna do about it? Are you worried that there might be a culture of that developing or brewing?
I'm worried that that could develop. Again, I don't have evidence that it's brewing, but it would not be an illogical consequence of the situation.
Wow. And then when you look at the stats, like, okay, so prior to 2021, everybody was working in offices. We have a lot of the public service now working from home. Do you think that there is a correlation between people not being in an environment where they are with people who might be abusive, might be committing serious wrongdoings, as you said, in the nature of it, but then now that people are working from home, that they now feel safe to make complaints? Do you think that there's a correlation to that?
Again, I don't have evidence, but if you're asking me for my feeling on it, I wouldn't say so, because people could be reprised against whether they're working from home or working in the office. People can be subject to wrongdoings, whether they're at home or in the office. So I don't think so, but I don't have evidence to back that up. It's just, if you're asking me my view, that's kind of what I think.
Okay, there was an article from 2012 that the Government Accountability Project announced Canada's whistleblower protections are among the weakest in the world, tied with Lebanon and Norway. The project was especially critical of the fact that only 8 retaliation cases have been heard by the Public Servants Disclosure Protection Tribunal, despite PSDPA having come into force 17 years ago. There's lots of other quotes kind of about the functionality so far here. I guess why are we viewed as having some of the weakest protections in the world?
I'm not trying to be evasive. I think you'd probably have to ask the authors of that. I'm not sure. Again, my sense is that they're looking at a legislative framework and trying, which, having worked internationally a lot, it really is hard to compare jurisdictions. But I do know that there was a task force that was struck about 2 years ago, around 2 years ago to look at the PSDPA because of some of the articles, such as the one that you're citing, a recognition that I think improvements are required. I am keen to know what the outcome of that task force is. And I'm hopeful that to the extent that there are weaknesses in the Act, and there are weaknesses in the Act, I'm not pretending otherwise, in my view, that's my personal view, I'm looking forward to seeing that report to see what proposals are being made.